Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in the month of February 2019. What's going on, Taurus? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. A little weird there. Right off the bat, guys, some of you will be able to tell I'm sick. Last time I was with you in January, I was also sick, very sick. I got better, then I got sick again. That's where we are now. I'm getting over this one, so I apologize ahead of time. If you catch me coughing, I'll try my best to catch them and pause the video. But it is what it is, and we got to get these things done, right? All right, Taurus, so I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I'll shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all cards are out and they're lying face up on the board, that's when the reading will begin. I'm going to place a timestamp in the box below for that, if you want to go ahead and jump ahead. If you also want a personal reading with me, you can find the information for that down in the description box as well. Send me an email if you have questions about the reading. People have asked, like, oh, what happens? I'm like, it's pretty much like this, only I answer your question directly, and it lasts about 40 minutes to about an hour. So basically what you see here, you would get that with the reading, but it would be personal and tailored to you. If you were wondering that. But if you have other questions that are not directly related to your situation, you can email me at the address below, and I will answer your question as best as I can, okay? Anything else? No, that's it. Let's get your outcome for February 2019. Taurus outcome, February 2019, please. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. That's funny. I saw that in when I was shuffling. I saw that card a few times. So there you go. It was meant to be here. All right, let's flip the rest of these and see what's going on with you guys. Oops. And that one too. Okay. Interesting. Oh boy. Already I see like a nice little pattern. I love patterns and puzzles and things like that, so my mind really responds to that. So, anyway, that's neither here nor there at this point. Please show me Taurus in February 2019. Please show me Taurus in February 2019. Please show me. Got it. All right, Taurus, coming into February 2019, you come in with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I'll show you this card upright so you can get used to it. This is the Steampunk Tarot deck, in case you're wondering. That's what it looks like upright, but like I said, it came reversed. So, coming out of the cold, coming out of feeling like you're adrift, feeling like you're lost and you know, kind of been shunned aside or pushed aside or somehow sort of standing on your own and without refuge, you know. In this card, I'll show it to you again. These two characters, this woman and child, are outside of what we can assume can be like a church, or at least some building that has, you know, shelter from this winter storm that they're in. And she's like moving away from it, not intentionally moving away from the sanctuary, but she's unaware of how close by her shelter is, or her not saving grace, but whatever would be helpful to her, she's not aware that it's close by. But that's how it is in the upright. In the reverse, I think you're becoming quite aware of what could save you, what could help you, what could sort of be your passage of safety, or somehow your sanctuary. Could be a person, could be a place, could be a change in circumstance, could be many things. It is a general reading. But you're getting really away from feeling like. That's the more important part. You're getting away from feeling like, or viewing yourself, if not feeling like, but viewing yourself as if you've been in that position where you have been abandoned, where you have been without shelter, or you have been without any type of recourse or any type of assistance or ability to get yourself out of a certain circumstance. I think you're feeling, in this card, again, when it's upright, it's this feeling of I have nowhere to go, I have nothing to turn, or no one to turn to. I can't find my way in the world. And when it's in reverse, it's like, nah, man, you got it, or you're on your way to getting it. So some of you are on your way. And I shouldn't even say some. I feel most of you are on your way to getting back to, or getting reacquainted with, or for the first time possibly for some of you, discovering your own self-sufficiency, your own warm shelter, and being contented or feeling safe. For many of you, feeling safe, feeling secure. You know, this is a card, when it's in the upright, again, of insecurity. Not insecurity like necessarily emotional, because pentacles are more aligned to your physical body or your physical surroundings and how you feel in your day-to-day. It's less internal, it's more of an external energy, the pentacles often. So I think some of you, maybe you were insecure in terms of your job. Maybe you felt as though you didn't have enough income, or whatever job you have been working, you weren't sure if you were making the grade, you weren't sure if they went, maybe some of you were hired on sort of a temporary contract, and now you're actually being hired on full-time to the company, something like that. Or you were worried about making your rent, and now for some reason you're going to be able to make your rent, or something changes in you where you realize, okay, I can't just have the one job. This is one of the errors where I don't know many people who have just one job. You know, many people have side hustles that I know of. So you might pick up on a side hustle and be like, look, if I want to make ends meet, it's not going to be easy. By the way, this energy in both the reverse and upright is just not easy. It's not. Fives are always about challenges. Fives are always about things that implore you to change, or call on you to change through trial by fire, basically. So some of you are going to have to pick up a second job, get that side hustle going so that you can make ends meet. The important factor here is that what you're coming from is this notion that you were insecure. You had no legs to stand on. You had no pot to piss in, so to speak. You will find out, oh, bitch, I got pots, you know, and you're just going to find a way. Either you're going to happen upon something in a very fortunate state of events, or chain of events, excuse me, or you're just going to find this motivation within yourself and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you will find your way without anyone's help. So some of you will get a leg up, some of you will turn around and realize, oh, the sanctuary and the help that I need is like right next to me. I've been a fool this whole time, not recognizing it. Or you're going to journey on a little bit further down the road and you'll find it for yourself. So good for you, Taurus. You're getting your flavor back is how I'm feeling this. Like you're getting your feet back underneath you. You know, you're going to be able to find your footing here. Now, Ooh, yes, okay. Are you in the top and somebody else in the bottom? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so up top I feel that's kind of like where you're going. What's kind of in your present point now, and this might be sort of what's behind you or influencing this current energy, I think is what's going on here. Could be you in the past as well. 2 female characters, 2 brown-haired women. That might be significant to some of you. But yeah, in the past or in the recent past, like not even necessarily like your past, like years ago. This could be like a few weeks ago or something like that. 2 of Swords, right beneath your starting position. So previous to this point, there was this indecision and this sort of, I feel, strangely like a hostage situation. And I don't mean that word like literally. I hope to God nobody was in a hostage situation recently or ever. But what I'm feeling is like this immobile energy, right? 2 of Swords, traditionally we're talking about somebody who has to make a decision and they don't want to, or they don't know where to go, and they're very indecisive, and they kind of pretend that they don't have a decision to make, or they downplay the importance of the decision that they have to make. And so they blindfold themselves, and in the traditional tarot deck, the figure crosses her arms in front of her. So here we see a little bit of progress, because we see that the swords aren't crossed in front of the chest, right? But the blindfold is still on. So I think that there's like a halfway decision that has been made, or like baby steps towards something. And again, this is like the recent past. So this could be you, Taurus. You could be slowly coming back into your own awareness. You could be slowly coming back into feeling more decisive, feeling more in control, and more ready to make moves. And I think that plays for a lot of you. A lot of you. This is you. In other cases, this isn't you, and you're dealing with someone who is slowly coming to a point of wanting and being willing and able to make a decision, or being willing and able to take a step forward, or take a step back, or take a step left or right, whatever. And they're coming away from this idea of I can't, I won't, I don't know how. All of that is sort of being reduced or altered in some type of way. In some cases, it might be delayed. Like, right. Because let's say this was like a dating scenario, Taurus, for you. You could be dating someone new, and you might be hesitant. Excuse me. You might be hesitant to give this person the time of day. You might be hesitant to, take it the next step. Let's say we're really going out. Let's take this from a casual place and into a more serious place. There's this like baby steps, like very tiny steps towards some decision, going left, going right, going backwards, going forwards, whatever. There's like this baby steps going on over here. And the moon is a little significant to me, symbolically, in terms of time. We could be talking about the cycles of the moon. So there could be a decision made with whatever new moon is coming up towards within the month of February. So there might be decisions made there, or you might feel a little bit more open as the moon becomes full or hits that new moon phase, whatever. But there... And, okay, thank you. And the clothes on this woman, the outfit she's wearing, it's like almost like a ballerina, right? Like a little bit of a tutu, and she's up on her toes there. So that's a very delicate dance. Like, obviously, from what I know of dancers, I don't know much about ballerinas specifically, but what I know of dancers is it's hard. Like, they're technically athletes. They train a lot. You have to be limber. You have to have a strong core. You have to have all this skill, right? And to create something as delicate as a ballet often is viewed as something that's delicate, precise, very, very like highly specialized and highly structured, right? Is a ballet. And to do that, you just can't go in there and hit it hard like you were doing like breakdancing or something like that, or modern dance. So there's a delicacy, there's a tiptoeiness to this. One second. All right, Taurus, sorry about that. So tiptoeing, very delicate, very light, slow movement towards making a decision or becoming more decisive. And being that it falls underneath your Five of Pentacles, it could be your own slow-moving decision to becoming more self-sufficient, or recognizing the ways in which you become more self-sufficient, or realizing the ways, if it's, like I said, feeling in control of yourself, feeling as if you are at the driver's seat of your own life. You're the one writing your own life's book. So I think mostly this is going to be you, Taurus, where you're slowly waking up from, or coming to terms with, or feeling emboldened and ready to make a step forward in whatever direction you're going. So I think these two are kind of working in tandem, and they're kind of reflecting a very similar energy. This is like away from feeling, this is more fear-based, and this is more about your insecurities, right? So insecurities, not feeling as if you have enough of money, not feeling as if you have the right resources or tools or skills, or feeling insecure as if you don't have the support that you need. You will slowly come to realize you do have those things. Over here, fear. I'm afraid to make those steps forward. I'm afraid to decide to go left or right. And it's releasing that fear, or slowly realizing that fear can be conquered. Because again, in the traditional tarot, like in the Rider-Waite deck, if you're familiar with it, you see that person and they're holding, like their arms are crossed in front of them, right? You see that. Arms here are open. So you're not blocking part of your body. You're not blocking, often we say the chest or the heart area is blocked when in that traditional depiction of the Two of Swords. Here the heart is not blocked. The only thing that's blocked now are your eyes, aka your third eye. So you intuitively might not be in line with it, but your heart says yes. Your heart is saying yes. I want to move this way. I want to move that way. I want to make this decision. I want to make that decision, or whatever you're deciding. Your heart is open, but your mind and your eye are a little bit like, we're not there yet. We don't see it. Thank you. So what you're hoping for, what you're desiring from your heart chakra, from the center of yourself, what you're wishing and dreaming for, you feel it's there. You feel the potential is there. You feel you can get it if the right moves are made and if you take the right steps, but you may not be able to envision it, okay? So if this is, say, the perfect job, you know what you want your job to feel like. You want your job to, when you wake up in the morning, you don't regret it. You don't want to throw your alarm or your phone across the room as soon as the alarm goes off. Like, you want to wake up and feel full of energy and inspired to go to work. When you go to work, you want to feel fulfilled as far as your security, okay? You want to feel that the dollars I'm making are going to pay for everything in my life that I need and more. I want to be able to put away for 401k. I want to be able to invest my money, whatever it is. You know what your job wants, you know what it wants to make you feel, or how it makes you feel. You know how you want that to be. But what job is that? That might be the conundrum. What job is that? What does that look like? What kind of company am I working for? Where am I going to live? So you might not be able to visualize it, but you can feel it. Same thing if this was a relationship. Going forward, I know what I want to feel when I'm in love with someone. When I meet that partner who's going to be my lifelong partner, I know what that feels like. Who that person is, what they look like, I don't know. You know, maybe you're dreaming, oh, it looks like The Rock. You know, Dwayne Rock Johnson. Oh, yes. Or, you know, someone, you know, whatever celebrity. You might have that type of visual, but the chances of you getting with The Rock, number one, he's married, and hopefully he would not cheat on his wife. You know what I mean? So that is not realistic. So in real terms, in real life terms, what does that person look like? You might hope they look like The Rock, but they might not. They might look like, you know, some scrawny little nerd guy working at a bookstore. I don't know. So, one second. All right, Taurus. So so there's a discrepancy going on for you or for someone else. If this isn't you, it's going on for someone else, where we're not exactly sure, or you're not exactly sure, or they're not exactly sure what the thing that they desire from their heart will look like, what form it will take in real life. But there is sort of this confidence, this assuredness that it's out there, that the job is out there, the relationship is out there, the affinity or the vision of yourself is out there. It just hasn't taken shape yet. It hasn't come into your life yet, but it's out there. Okay? And okay, so down here, oh, interesting. So down here again, I think these are things that have recently influenced you, or they're sort of like residual energies that are with you. Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, wow, okay. So maybe you've been blind to what you've needed to do up until this point. I think many of you are aware of what you have to do, but this is, again, just kind of filling out your story in totality. So you've got the Knight of Pentacles on either side of this Two of Swords, right? Knight of Pentacles. Show you upright so you can become familiar with it. But he's in reverse. So Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy, a journeyer, somebody who basically is out to sort of discover themselves or discover something, learn something. Often the Pentacles can be about developments. And Pentacles as an energy, as a element, are already slow. But the Knight of Pentacles, he would be definitely concerned with development. The process and the progress of something. And so maybe for you guys, if this is about yourself, if this is you, you were kind of lost in the sauce, man. You weren't necessarily seeing that you were at the driver's seat. You know what I mean? That you had a hand or had control over the next few phases of your life, or the next big thing in your life, or the next point, like I said, point of development in your life. Maybe some of you, I just did Aries reading, and I think they had a similar message down in this area on their board, was like, maybe some of you have been parents, or our parents have been parents, our parents, and maybe you prioritized your children for a while, and you focused on your kids for a long time, and you forgot, hey, I should be developing, and I should be growing, and I should be learning stuff too. You know, you're sending your kids off to school every morning, making them a lunch, you know, sending them on the school bus, you know, picking them up and doing all that stuff, and you're wanting to see them grow. You're wanting to see them learn things and to become a more enriched and enlightened human being, and a smarter human being. But then you kind of sat yourself on the bench and you didn't do anything, or you haven't done much. You know what I mean? And so meow, maybe again, meow, sorry. Maybe now some of you are like, I got to get back in the game. The Knight of Pentacles, like I said, he's slow to initiate, he's slow to accomplish, but he is very structured. He doesn't veer off of his path too much. So once he's on track of something, he usually stays with it. He's not a super adventurous knight as compared to the others, cups, wands, and swords, right? He's definitely not as adventurous as any of them. But he gets the job done. So there's this idea of, if you were prioritizing your children or your marriage or this functionality or role that you held at your job, let's say, whatever it was, you were pretty faithful to that role. You were very faithful to being a mom, to being the head of payroll, whatever you were doing, being the you know, the shampoo girl down at the salon, whatever. You were very focused on that, and you dedicated a lot of your time to that role, and a lot of dedication to enriching other people, or making other people happy, or seeing other people succeed. And now it's time for you to maybe turn that interest into yourself, or onto a different project, onto a new person, or onto another job, and you're just like, I don't know. Or not that you don't know, it's just the transition into that priority is here. You feel you want it, but you can't see it. So you're sitting there as the shampoo girl, and you're shampooing other people's heads, and you're like, man, I like doing this. I can see this person with their head in the sink. They're really enjoying themselves, and I do a good job, and my boss compliments me and all this stuff, but you just don't feel it on the inside. You're not as fulfilled as you used to be here. And so now you're like, my heart wants to go somewhere else, but I don't know where that place is. So this kind of is doing two things. It's giving you what you've had already, or what you already have established in your life, a great job, a good relationship with your kids, maybe a good relationship with your spouse, or your boss, or whoever, and you feel really accomplished there. But now it's gone on for so long, and now you kind of are losing your utility. Okay? You're not as effective as you used to be. Your kid is like 16 years old now. They're not a baby. They don't really need you for much. You know, you're going in their room. Okay, so I got this shirt for you, and I ironed this shirt for you, and they're like, Mom, I don't want to wear that. I'm not going to wear that. And you're like, oh, okay. And you walk out, and you're like, my kid doesn't need me to dress them anymore. And you're like, I made this for your breakfast. I made you this. Like, I'm just going to grab something on the way, Mom, thanks. And they leave you know what I mean? Like, it might be a little cliche, but that shit happens. And so some of you are like, that Knight of Pentacles helps you establish this long-time effectiveness, this long-time relationship with your kids, your boss, whoever, but now he's holding you back, or he has been holding you back, because you're so attached to what you were doing previous to this. So years ago, months ago, but most of you, it's years ago, what you've been doing for a while. And now you're like, it's not happening. I'm not feeling it. And I think the reluctance comes from the Knight of Pentacles also likes to prepare. So if other people or the circumstance around you is changing more rapidly than you're prepared for, that these two together, that's what you get. Your heart is saying, okay, it's time to go. Like, you're not a fool, Taurus. You can read the room, okay? So you see that your kid is growing up, or you see that, you know, shampooing hair for 5 years is enough. You should be doing something else. So you can read the room, and you can take the temperature, and you can understand that something has to change. It's just the Knight of Pentacles is not prepared, you know? I've been a parent for this kid for 16 years. Oh, I mean, I'm still going to be his parent, but now I have to do it in a different way. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's not even a full change of your role or what you're doing or how you're addressed or something like that, but it's how you go about it. The methodology might have to change, and that's a little daunting here. On the other side, you've got this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Show you upright so you become used to it. Nine of Pentacles reverse. So, Nine of Pentacles, again, we're talking about security here a little bit, like we were there in the Five of Pentacles reverse. 1 second. Alright, Taurus, sorry about that. So, Nine of Pentacles, similar to the Five of Pentacles, in reverse, both of them. We're talking about security. And actually here, excuse me, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, we're talking about lack of confidence, lack of feeling accomplished and feeling like you know your stuff. Like the Nine of Pentacles in the upright will often be called the single ladies card, and feeling abundant in self and feeling stable and secure with the self. So that might be at play here. Some of you don't feel secure in yourselves. You don't feel that you're able to provide for yourself, and you're not really in any kind of abundant space or place in your life. You're feeling quite restricted, or you don't have much wiggle room. But again, I feel like that is like the recent past. You're getting out of this because it is in, it is in the reverse position, but with this here, there's this slow opening up and being ready to make a move in some direction, left or right, up or down. And so here, this might be what you're combating, you know, these might be the things that you're sort of, the last two things that you might be blindfolded to. Here, I want to be useful, I want to be effective in my role, and maybe my role has to change, or there's certain details and methodologies that I have to change. Here, I have to stop feeling, or I have to somehow get away from, or just realize, if it's not a get away from, just realize how much my confidence was lacking. How I didn't have this sense of being able to provide or being able to sustain in some cases. So I feel a lot more struggle here in a financial sense than I did here. You've got a lot of pentacles, so you're in your own house. as far as that's concerned. You have a lot of interest in your physical surroundings, your own resources, money, home, car, food, clothing, everything that's physical that we put value on. Time also is an aspect with the pentacles. So there's a lot of your everyday life that has been a little topsy-turvy. They're all in reverse, right? All your pentacles are in reverse. So you've had issues with money. You've had issues with time and scheduling. You've had issues with providing, in some cases, shelter and safety for yourself or your children, right? Or you're having to renegotiate it. If it's not full insecurity and a lack of confidence or a lack of abundance and ability, it would be having to sort of restructure things, especially if we're coming into new ways of behaving or new ways of going about things. Then that means now, okay, if my son or daughter is going off to school and they're not going to eat the breakfast that I make for them, okay, I don't need to make breakfast for them. So that cuts my time down. So now I have an extra 15 minutes in the morning. And some of you might be sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Oh, what do I do with this extra 15 minutes? Go for a jog. Watch the morning news. Get more sleep. Like, I mean, it's simple. It can be something so simple as that. You have an extra 15 minutes in the morning that you don't know what to do with because you have this new role or this new way of behaving in a role that you haven't become accustomed to. And it sort of makes you feel a little insecure. Like, I've got this extra 15 minutes. I should be taking care of something around the house. So some of you might put that pressure on yourselves. Okay, I've got 15 minutes, so maybe I'll go and organize this in the house. I'll fold the laundry. That way I don't have to do it when I come home from work, etc., etc., etc. And maybe instead of doing that, you should reinvest that energy elsewhere. Relax, have an extra cup of coffee in the morning, or meditate in the morning, or do something for yourself, enliven and embolden and enrich yourself, perhaps. That could be why you're feeling like, oh, I don't know. Like, this is like an I don't know energy in the reverse. When it's upright, the Nine of Pentacles knows. Very, very forthright, very, very much a clear head on their shoulders. In the reverse, anxiety in some cases, apprehension in other cases, okay? And the irony is, Taurus, I feel that these three energies, and if you combine them with the Two of Swords a little bit as well, it's really in the backdrop of your life. It's really where you're coming out of. You're moving away from that less stable, less clear or secure place, and moving towards something more secure, I think. It's not going to be easy, I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to be easy, but damn it, you want it. Ace of Wands. So given when your starting position was this Five of Pentacles, even though she's in the reverse, her eye line is looking directly at that Ace of Wands, right? So that's what you want. You want this Ace of Wands. You want... Excuse me, let me have a drink of water. Hold on. Excuse me. So you want this Ace of Wands. You want... Why am I going, you want this Ace of Wands? What's the significance? Aces are the chances, the opportunities, the seedlings, new beginnings, right? And Wands are about passion. It's about drive. It's about, in many cases, what's artistic, what's creative, what's like I said before, enlivening you. What gives you that boost in the morning? What gives you that drive to just get up and go, you know? And Wands are often also associated with physical activity. So it could be you want to, if you've been a stay-at-home mom or a mom that works a part-time job, or you're somebody, and it doesn't have to be female, you could be a dad who does that or a male who does that. But you could have been a homebody, and now you want to get out in the world and do shit. I want to start, crafting, or I want to start taking hikes in the morning, or I want to join a volleyball club or something like that. Like, you could have this physical need to actually get up and do something. Pentacles, like I said, are slow moving, oftentimes very static in movement. They actually don't move sometimes, okay? And that's not to say you as an earth sign, as Pentacles are related to the earth signs, that you're lazy, but sometimes people say Tauruses are lazy. I will leave that up for you to decide. So there is this desire to get moving on something new, something fresh. You know, it's holding up this very phallic symbol. So some of you want to get busy in the bedroom. Be about it. Go get busy in the bedroom. But beyond it being a phallic symbol, there's just like this, a lot of light is here, right? A lot of light. And I love it. How it's like bursting behind the fist there. So bright, new, fiery, passionate. It's all that you want. All that you want. Not all is in everything, but like this and only this. But all is in like, all is in, it's like the ignition point. This is what you need. It's all that you need. You just need that spark of something. You need that joy, that inspiration, that fire under your butt. And again, it's right under, or excuse me, it's right above your Knight of Pentacles card. And again, the Knight of Pentacles is about duty. He's about following through with a plan. He's about establishing and maintaining a game plan, right? So you might have a new hobby, a new job, a new interest, a new sport, whatever. Once you get into this space, whatever this represents to you, this new thing, this new endeavor, this new job, this new person, whatever this new shit is, once you get into it, he's on the job. And he's going to become dedicated to this. He's going to be very dutiful towards that Ace of Wands. Whether that's a good thing, whether that's a bad thing, I don't know. But that's what I feel your energy is. You're looking at it from your starting position. And this guy, he's like your workhorse, the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to put him on the job. Whether you know it or not, you're going to put him on the job. And one second. Okay. So once you put the Knight of Pentacles on the job, he's just going to stay on it. He's like a dog with a bone. He's very loyal to whatever he's seeking, whatever he's in charge of, whatever he's been bestowed, sort of, and trusted to do, to undertake, he will do it. To the end of the road, he will do it. And so that might be what's missing for you right now, Taurus, is you feel as though, excuse me, for lack of a better word or phrasing, you don't have a purpose. You're trying to re-establish and reestablish, or to finally find, if you've never found it before, just what the hell am I supposed to be doing with my life? What are my skills best suited for? Some of you are rediscovering that, or discovering it for the first time. Or at least that's what you want. I hope you find it. You know? I feel pretty good about it. This seems kind of daunting. And okay, and I think I did say that earlier. This is not going to be easy. Collectively, it's not easy. But your determination is here. I feel your determination is here. I feel your fixation on it is here. Okay? Wands can be like that too. Fixed on that energy. Like solidly focused on whatever this is. Okay? And on the far side of where you're starting, far side, or the other side rather, you've got the Judgment card. Major Arcana Judgment. Your only major on the board. So that's interesting. So a lot of this is self-contained energy, and that's kind of been thematic. I think it was a little thematic for many of the later signs in January, and I think that's kind of bleeding all over here into the first two readings I've done, at least for you in Aries, is Arcanas they come up in a reading when, when they come up in a reading, what you're getting from this is there's something greater than yourself at work here. But out of your 6 cards, and even your 2 extra cards, so to speak, you've really only gotten 1. So you're mainly in the driver's seat in this reading, Taurus. You are definitely in control and very aware of what needs to go on. You have a little bit of guidance here with the Judgment card. You have like a sprinkling of guidance, but this is energy that you're going to take on to yourself, and you're going to have intense ownership over, okay? Now, Judgment. Revitalized, right? Getting back to, or calling back to, okay? Yes. Who the hell are you? A lot of that is here. Who are you, Taurus? You want to know. You want to get reestablished with that idea, with that answer. You want to get to the bottom of it. Who am I? What am I? Where am I going? What's going to happen? Etc., 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 right? Taurus. Yes. Okay. So, artistically, or rather, if we interpret the illustration, you've got these two people in some type of car creation, although it's got a propeller on it, but it's steampunk, so that makes sense. So these two people have been through the ringer. Looks like they've crashed that car, or looks like they're having car trouble, something like that. Troubled times. But then above them, you have this angel playing a Victrola, and is sort of restoring, actively healing, actively rectifying this situation. So some of you are going to see a revitalization in a specific relationship, or the dynamics of a relationship, or some type of like, I feel something's getting a line drawn under it. So either a relationship, regardless of the type, it could be the relationship you have with your kid that I was talking about earlier, but whatever relationship it is, there's like a line drawn under it. We have been here, we have done this, line under it, we're done with that. In other cases, it's going back to that line drawn under phase or stage and kind of reevaluating or getting new clarity on it in some kind of way. But in any case, I see it as something from the past, a relationship, a dynamic in a relationship, something like that, is being looked at once more and given a big send-off, given a wave goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You know? This angel is, like this angel now became like a DJ, you know? And so maybe some of you are like looking over something and there's like a song of significance, or you're thinking of something and there's a song of significance, and you're like releasing that significance also. Does that make sense? Like a little bit of a kerfuffle, a little bit of a discombobulated kind of energy here in this relationship, regardless of what type it is. Romantic, family, business, I don't care. And saying it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it was, blah, 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 blah. And then seeing it in a new light. Thanking it. Okay, this is going to be really specific, but hopefully some of you know what I'm talking about. There's a show on Netflix right now. It's something about blah, blah, blah with Marie Kondo. It's this Japanese woman who's helping people tidy up their homes. Tidying up with Marie Kondo, I think is what it's called. And one of the things that she does in it, or one of the rituals that she has, is when she goes into a person's home or their space, and she's like, well, let's go through your junk. And she's like, you're going to pick up the things, and if it sparks joy, you keep it. If it doesn't, you throw it away. When you go to get rid of the things that you're not keeping, the things that don't spark joy for you anymore, what she asks the people to do, hold it in your hands, and you thank it for everything that it provided for you up until this point. You thank it for its service, basically, and then you let it go. You ditch it, you throw it away, you donate it, you do whatever you're doing. And so, to a lot of Western people, because this woman is Japanese, right? That's like such a foreign concept. They're like, what? I think a pen? Like, I'm going to pick up a pen that I'm going to throw away and I'm going to thank it? And it seems kind of odd. It seems very, just like too hippy-dippy for a lot of people, or too mystical for some people. But that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever this relationship was, whatever period of your life, if it's not a relationship, whatever period of your life or phase this was for you, you look at it, you thank it for everything that it provided for you up until this point, and then you move on. Because this judgment is about final recognitions, final says, or final takeaways, final thoughts on the situation, and then letting it go and moving on. Sometimes it calls back painful memories or details of a situation that are kind of ugly or kind of cringy to realize, but it's all about redemption. It's all about healing and moving past. So there's that element there. And coming from this Nine of Pentacles point, right above the Nine of Pentacles, maybe that's what you have to do. You have to kind of recognize the ways in which you were not feeling abundant, the ways in which maybe you were sort of reluctant or unsure of yourself, and letting them go. Unsure of yourself as a mother, unsure of yourself as an employee, as a shampoo girl, whatever the hell you're doing. Unsure of yourself as a husband, whatever, and letting it go. Thanking and realizing the good qualities of what that was, but then still letting it go and still moving forward from it. You know, because this is like in the rear or towards the back of your line of sight, right? That judgment. So it's not your priority, because your priority is to look towards the Ace of Pentacles. But you still have to rectify. You still have to I suppose rectify works. Because, like, correct is not correct. I don't want to say correct. They put that there. Correct. But basically, come to terms. That's it. Come to terms. Okay? Outcome for February. Seven of Swords. Traditionally, like, it's a card of lying and sneaky snake behavior. In some cases, someone is manipulative or cheating. The difference here is, in the traditional Rider-Waite, the person is carrying swords, but they're leaving two behind, and I think one might be falling out of their hands or something like this. In this particular deck, in this card, all the swords are with this person. So, and they're moving away from, interestingly, are all of them there, or are they counting those two? Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they're not all there. So 2 are remaining. My bad. Wait. Let me count these handles. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? Oh, that's not. Okay, I was wrong. My bad. In any case, I still get this feeling that you're taking everything with you. Someone's taking everything with them. And in case of swords, I'm getting peace of mind, because swords deals with our mental capacities, how we communicate, how we talk and think, and all that good stuff. So taking it all with you, not looking back. Maybe there's some sneaky snake behavior involved. Maybe there's some sour grapes or some bad tastes left in people's mouths. Especially in the case of, like, if you're moving on from a job that you've held for a long time, shampoo girl, assistant manager, I don't know, whatever you're doing, and you're moving on to something else. I feel that for someone, it was good. Why are we moving on from this? Or it was good. Why are you leaving? Or it was good. Isn't that good enough for you? And for someone, it's just not. And I feel it's for you, Taurus. It's just not. I realize I've got a lot of shit going on here. And I just gotta do right by me. And I gotta take my peace of mind. And I gotta take my confidence with me. And feel better. Not better, but I have to feel ready. And I have to focus on doing what's right for me. In this person's hand, and maybe I should have counted the tips of the sword. That would have been easier. But the reason I, like, all those hilts there, looks like about 7 swords, but the actual 2, there are 5 in the hand, but they're actually 2 above the door. That's why I was like, what? Wait, oh no, I was wrong. So there is this desire to take as much as you can, and take as much it's wanting to leave or get away from a situation or go into something new, but not encounter drama, not encounter ill will. You know, somebody's very concerned with, I don't want to leave on bad terms, or I don't want this change between us, or this change that I'm embarking on be a problem for our relationship, or be a problem in this dynamic. So in the case of your kid, if this is like, again, you're raising a child who's now an adolescent, is now more independent, you don't want you taking focus on yourself or you taking the extra downtime that you have in your day when you're not helping them do homework or helping them clean up their room, and you reinvest that time in yourself or into things that you want to do, you don't want to feel guilty or, you know, hurt their feelings. I don't think you will, but there is a concern like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I hope this is okay. And it's just like, girl, please, it's okay. Or guy, it's okay. So be sure that whatever you're doing, nobody's really going to get upset about it. If they do, that's their problem, but I really don't feel anybody's getting upset at you. Okay? Your outcome, your overall energy is the King of Wands. Why did I say Wands? King of Wands. So, might be a fire sign of importance to you, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries person, but I'm not feeling much of anybody else here. I'm feeling a lot of this is you. And the King of Wands, he kind of exemplifies, or he represents like the mastery of the Wands energy, the master of his passion, the master of his dreams and his creativity, right? He's very assured of himself. And so there it is. Thank you. That's what we're talking about here. In your overall, what is this whole reading about? You feeling confident. King of Wands, easily confident. You feeling secure. King of Wands, easily feels secure. You feeling that you have purpose, feeling that you have drive, feeling that you have something in your life that you can say, I did that, or I'm responsible for this, or I can create that. Master of all those things. The King of Wands he's like so sure of himself, so confident in his abilities and his skills and his own mindset and his beliefs that he doesn't need to sit on his own throne. You see that? He's the king, but he's not seated on his own throne. So that to me is always the mark of an amazing leader, or someone who is in ownership of their role or ownership of themselves. They don't have to be like the figurehead. Kings sit in thrones. They sit in throne rooms. They receive information from their messengers while seated in their throne. This guy is like, I don't need to be sitting down to hear your message. What do you got to say to me? This guy's like over there, you know, making a cup of coffee or something. Or in this case, he kind of looks like a magician. He's like pulling rabbits out of his hat. Okay, and what's the news down from the villagers? Tell me. And they're like, sir, you're not seated. I don't need to sit down for you to tell me that. So go ahead. So there's this idea, Taurus, going on that I think for some of you, if not many of you, there has been a concern about what does it look like to be this? Shampoo girl, assistant manager, mother, father, wife, husband, whatever. You've been very concerned with what does my role in life look like? And you want to perform to that. You want to adhere to what it looks like to be whatever you label yourself as, or whatever we're talking about. I'm here to tell you that when you have the confidence, the true confidence and the true mastery of it, you don't need to look like anything to still be. This guy doesn't need to sit in the seat to be the king. He already is. He's the king whether he's seated on the throne or whether he's seated on the crapper. He's the king whether he's inside the castle walls or he's outside the castle walls. The role is not specific to where he stands or where he sits. And I love that personally. When I work for people, I don't like bosses who stay in the office and they act like they're so above everybody else, and they don't have like that approachability and that rapport with their workers. So maybe that is what's going on for some of you. Maybe you've been a boss or you've been in charge and you've kind of been sort of in that office space or in that throne room away from your subjects, or in this case away from your workers or your co-workers or something like that. Now it's like, nah man, I'm still cool. I'm still boss head Taurus over here, but I'm gonna have lunch in the cafeteria room with everybody else. So there's a mellowing out in terms of what does it mean to be XYZ. 1 second. Alright guys, sorry about that. So yeah, kind of drop the ideas or the ideal of what it means to be whatever we're talking about here. You know, what it means to be a leader, a boss, a mom, a partner, whatever. And kind of relax a little bit or redefine what this looks like with that Ace of Swords energy, okay? All right, Taurus, that is your reading for February 2019. I hope you liked it. If you did, there's a like button down below. Go ahead and smash it. Just like pound it. I'm kidding. Just click it. Also, please leave comments down below. Let me know how this resonated for you. You can also share this video across your social media platforms. Let other people know what's going on in your life. Or there might be another Taurus. You're like, oh my God, girl, she knows our lives. Look. And if anything, if you're not going to do any of those other things, and you've been here for a while, or even if this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe if you like what you saw here and you want to see more of it. Hit the subscribe button, and then of course also hit the notifications bell so you'll see when the new videos come up. I am thinking I'm going to introduce at least one new piece of content, because right now I really only do 2 pieces of content. I do the general monthlies, and then I do birthday readings, and I'm thinking of doing something else, because I used to do weeklies and I was like, oh, that's too much, especially with a full-time job. That's like too much. But I'm thinking of maybe introducing a bi-weekly piece. And so if you want to see that content and what I've already produced, or what I will continue to produce in the future, please hit the subscribe button and also the notifications bell. I will be back, Taurus, in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, and I'm going to bring you your March readings at that time, okay? I thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye.